To approve the minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Abstain. Communications.
Yesterday we had Easy Cog Housing, and Ringo is requesting $22,770 to do some repairs on their housing corporation. They've been really good about paying back. They've never missed a payment. So they were awarded their 22,000 grant yesterday. Victor also requested $158,500 to do some major work at their senior housing complex. And we did not move forward with that because we wanted to go down and look it over.
I didn't know you guys did. I was like, do you logos or do you send some?
Tracy, I'll go, and Laura Sasson. So all three of us go down there and look it over. Because they've already got out over $100,000 loans with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that run by the city?
No, it's run by a corporation, McNall's out of Powashik County, Montezuma. So it was just something I wanted to get a look at and see if all these repairs really do need to happen. So that was the housing. We had the other one. Had phone calls about dust controls. I had to call Nick yesterday to see when that was gonna start.
Yeah.
He told me today. So then I also got called out yesterday to go look at somebody's field, or a neighbor's field, I should say, full of red top thistles. So they wanted to know what they could do.
I'll get to when I can.
I gave them a couple options, and I said they can use a nuisance law or a nuisance ordinance. What do you guys call it?
Well, weed commissioner should get called and he comes out and spray them.
I told them that was an option.
Yeah.
But they don't know how far that might go.
Yeah, if it doesn't go, then we need to know.
Okay. Okey dokey, we'll let Nick know about that today, and he can let the weed commissioner know. So that was my week.
I just had, the week before, I had that online meeting with the mental health, the whole state mental health. It was kind of pretty much all, if you remember when May came here to talk to us, it was pretty much all about that. Everything's still kind of in the air. And they said those same timelines that July, there's this proposed map of the districts will come out. In August, they'll be decided. But again, the whole transition don't take place till after this next fiscal year. So we'll still have board meetings, and kind of like the corrections board, it's gonna end up being more of a advisory board than a governing board. Really not sure who's gonna be on the board. And then also you have to look, so these offices that'll be in charge of each district, they can be a private company, they can be a nonprofit company, and some other company. So it's gonna kind of change the way how the county employees are gonna get paid, or if they're gonna be county employees. So like Bach is gonna be up in the air until we figure out, I'm guessing if it's gonna be the same, if we stay in the same district, which I don't have a lot of faith that's gonna happen now, because in that meeting, you know how we were talking, how she was gonna try to make a trade and keep us in with Lynn and Johnson County. Yeah. But Johnson and Iowa County are projected to go south. They said, the state people at that meeting said, this isn't about the counties, it's about the patients and about the clients. So to me, I was like, wow, that doesn't sound promising. So we'll just have to wait and see what the map comes out with. And again, the meeting was, it was a long meeting, and I was like, well, I could have probably got all that in an email, but I sat through it.
I hope we stay with Johnson at least, so we need the facilities.
Well, we'll still use those facilities, we just won't be in the know of what's going on in that district where those facilities are at. I mean, the patients are still gonna go where they need to go. That's not gonna change. So, the thing that's gonna change, is the biggest thing probably for us, is how those county employees are gonna mix in with the with private sector, or if it's gonna be pass-through money again with us, we'll just have to see. So, and it's gonna, I think they're pretty much working to, maybe they'll explain too, with like corrections, it's gonna be like a zero budget. I mean, you're gonna budget and this is what you're gonna get. No more of this carryover and stuff like that. So we'll see how it all works. It's a lot of big changes, that's for sure. So that's the meeting I had. Like I said, I didn't make the Veterans Commission meeting this week either, so.
That was a meeting with Chris yesterday. And then the county home, we've been working on that well. That's done. So we're just gonna meet with, so myself, Dylan, Nick, and, the weed commissioner out there to make sure how to run it and not do it wrong. So it's all the pipes hooked up, the water, the hoses are out there, is all ready to be ready to use. Been out a couple times in the county on that. That's all I think I really got.
I had one other thing too. 2 weeks ago when I was here, we were talking about the phone. The jail kitchen actually has an operational phone. It's already in there and stuff. So we kind of thought there wasn't a phone in there yet.
Do we know any more about that? Did it ever get going?
No, 'cause I had somebody call, said they called the engineer's office and rang. I said, I don't know why, 'cause they don't have any phones.
Anything broken for
No,
Okay, let's go down to liquor licenses.
Make a motion to approve the liquor licenses.
Second,
All in favor, say aye.
Right.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. MHDS ECR provider service contract with Iowa County Transportation.
was that in our package or is it just right there?
This is what we've been
Oh, here.
doing for several years, right? It's been duly approved.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. There's something here I need to sign.
Yeah.
Okay, so this, is that me? Is that Becky?
Becky. I'll just put on it.
County Veterans Affairs reappointment of Kane Robinson. Is there a motion to do so?
I'll make a motion to reappoint Kate Robinson to the Veterans Affairs.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. Is this something I need to sign? I don't know.
No.
Just to say they want to. Do you have any items from next week's agenda? Do you maybe think about that offhand?
Nobody need to make the meetings up, I haven't got them done yet.
Next week, we will need to set a canvas date, the primary.
Primary / election. Supervisors, it is the election. What else is up for, oh, I guess it's regular primary? Yeah, I guess we do. Lawler and,
We've got the budget in here.
Did you set something out for June 11th, Brandy? I'm at his training now. Is that the day you went to campus, was June 11th?
Yes,
Okay.
so just be thinking of a time.
Of a time.
That would work for everyone on that day.
That's the day we're supposed to look at Victor, so whatever, I gotta let them know, so yeah. you
And
can-
I really just need 3, so if I can get 3 people. Would be good.
So that's June 11th? Yeah, I'd be available in the morning, so. We need to set that this week? or-
No, next week. I just sent that in that email to be thinking of a time that would work for you.
That's for ballot canvassing?
Yeah. Canvas of those.
we can make whatever work.
I know your poll workers.
All right,
Good.
we had last week, yeah, last week was bad. We just kept losing them, something come up, or I just don't want to work.
Right? That's good. What happened if you couldn't fill them? Then what?
I have to have at least 3.
I don't know how it work
For what?
for poll workers.
Did you get one for Parnell?
Yes. It wasn't the one that you suggested.
You did?
No,
Oh.
no. He suggested that one
What's that? Oh, John did?
too. No.
Oh, Kevin?
Yeah.
Oh, we're on the same page.
Yeah,
at
no,
least.
that.
We thought for the Democratic side around Parnell, that would have been an easy fill. But
We had training this week and there were a few names that come up of people that aren't interested.
Hmm.
It's just hard to know.
Right.
Without some insight of who might be interested.
Right.
I mean, because otherwise we're just cold calling people.
And then you gotta worry about party affiliation.
Yeah. There should be party balance. So.
Do they get paid for it?
I can move today, can't I? I will.
I should do that to get set up, forget.
So I'm thinking.
I gotta make my traditional march into Conroy Hall, Hilton Hall.
I gotta go to the rec center. I don't do it here.
Get to wait in the line.
Not usually.
Yeah, I live 2 miles from Millersburg voting place, but I have to go to Williamsburg.
Really?
Pilot Township.
Get some workers and open up your own poll station.
There you go. There you go.
We're excited to use Legion Hall.
The pilot ones, they used to have in that brick building out there?
Yep. That's when I was a kid. I remember going there with grandma and grandpa to vote.
Oh yeah, make it sound like you're young now.
It's like, it's like
I
sitting-
feel like I was way before I started.
They used to have there's a little toy folding thing in there, and they're flipping around on.
So you were voting.
Yeah, and acting like I was. Grandma worked it for many, many years.
Really?
I don't think so, you're early.
You signed those yet, John?
Probably lying.
What's that?
You signed those?
No,
No, they're not getting that done.
didn't even see it sitting there. Forgot.
Great friends. Waiting on you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Nick.
Wait a minute. Lonely on my side of everything.
Yeah, what's going on?
I know. I think I smelled that, man.
Did you see T-Mobile bought US Cellular?
Really?
Yeah, T-Mobile bought US Cellular,
What was that?
like several $billion yesterday.
I've been with them since they got around.
That's the only one I've ever
Yeah, we do.
I was
Back when I had a bag full.
with Cellular Plus before that, they got one out by George Bay.
Back when I had a bag phone with 30 minutes.
You limited your text.
Yeah.
When they first came out, I remember I got so many texts a month. Okay, Nicholas?
I have an we still got a crew working over there. The bridge by the castle, they're grading, they should be done grading by Tuesday. I would imagine maybe by the end of next week, we'll be looking at opening it, but not quite sure, somewhere around there.
Ahead of schedule, isn't it?
That's
good. Oh, I thought, yeah.
They got the grading crew in there fairly fast, you know, didn't have to sit around for a long time.
The guy I talked to, he was worried about the tile, because it's too short. Add it to something.
Yeah, see, that's not his.
That's what he goes, like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, no, they were supposed to call before they were supposed to be out there the day before, didn't because of rain, and so then when they were supposed to get there, they were supposed to call, but they were still setting up their GPS, which didn't work, so we got it all taken care of.
Yeah, the GPS that he said he needed to add 4 feet yet.
Yeah.
It was like level.
It's all right. Wolfman's Bridge, still, it might be next week, I don't know if they pushed it back a week, but closing here really soon. And then V66, they did the shoulder rock this week, putting on the final surface lift today. They're gonna start spraying for dust controls today, or at least they're approved to. We've been running some of the spot rock and bridge crew. We are getting stockpile rock out of the yard. We worked also on the shoulder washouts out on B77. And talked to one of our guys this morning, and he said, you know, we're still running those magnets behind the graders, and he says he's still pulling off lots and lots of stuff.
It's
So,
amazing the junk that just shows up at the railroad.
yeah.
I found a railroad spike on the dirt road over there by Mano where the railroad used to run. And that thing looked like it was like 150 years old. It was like this long and wore out.
So, nope, just to let you guys know that they're still running those and still pulling up a lot of stuff. And we sent out for the LP bids this week. Those will be due at the end of June sometime. We did get the truck from the city of Marion. So thank you, Kevin, for helping out there and doing what we needed to do. But yeah,
I wasn't here last week. How'd you end up doing the,
Cappers helped out.
oh, good.
Yeah. So,
So did George give it the run through and it'll be okay?
yeah, no, he did that before we put in the bid. And it says it run great. So it's ready to go. GPS is in it and cameras are in it and stickers are on
What color is it?
it.
Is it gonna stick out and be the one
That's what I was gonna ask, what color it was.
Yeah. I think it was red, wasn't it? It's been 2 weeks and I haven't been down to see it personally.
Is it still here
Well,
now?
their school colors up there are red, so.
How do we want to get rid of that old truck?
What are our options?
Your options are putting a sign on it that says for sale. And whoever gets it, obviously it was scrapped out, right? So not great.
I thought you said there's enough parts on it that was worth keeping.
We did, we kept it. And then we took whatever we wanted off of it.
Oh, you did, okay.
And then now, with the rest of it, it still runs, but obviously it's been through a rollover. And, if we put a sign for sale and just take bids for it, then whoever buys it, we would have to have them sign a paper, you know, it's been through an accident. We're not liable for anything. Next place,
You can use like big iron or something?
what's that?
Big iron auction site?
I'm not gonna use an auction site anymore.
You had bad luck.
Yeah, I don't like them. So, but we could put a sign in it, And I know that a couple people would be interested. Or we just, but then, you know, I don't know about what happens after you buy, or else we could just take it to a scrapyard, what they do with it after that. Cause we essentially, I wouldn't want the city of Marengo to buy it, right? And then use it. But I would be okay if somebody took it to use it on a farm. You know what I mean? Or do we just sell it to a scrap place and assume that it'll get scrapped out?
Can you trade it in when you buy the new one?
No, I wouldn't. I'd say that these are our two best options.
I'd put a sign and sell it that way.
I'm good with whatever way you wanna do it.
Yeah.
I just wanted you guys to be aware that this truck's been through a rollover, so whoever buys it, and I'll have them sign something that says they acknowledge all that. But I don't want them to,
Yeah, sold as is.
Sold
as is, plus, we don't know about everything underneath when they drive it away.
There's no warranties or guarantees goes with it.
Well, I'm not worried about it breaking down on them, I'm worried about it falling apart. And yeah. So, that's what I'll do. I'm still gonna call it scrapyard though, to have them come down and we should put in a bid for it too, something like that.
The one right across the road should probably, I think.
What's that?
The one right across the road would probably. be a
Yeah, and
bid.
I heard there's another place too that might.
Right.
Working on some new ideas for culvert extensions. We've never really done that before with what I'm thinking, so it's gonna take a week or two to put some plans together, at least get everything in line. Pavement striping should be done. So if you see that your road is striped, that is why. And the salt bunker at Millersburg, just to let you guys know, got a little bit of trouble with that wind last week, so
Is it total, do you think?
estimator comes out Monday. Or the ICAP guy comes out Monday. I've already had an estimate to put it back together, but ICAP wants to look at it first.
I think we need to put a bigger bid on the back or something. That's the second time? So it's the
Yeah.
second time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they always,
They catch a lot of wind.
yeah, especially when it faces west like it does, but.
Yeah. Well, I said, I think a bigger bit in the back would help. That little one they got there beside the window.
I don't design them.
Like you could suggest it though.
Sure.
So,
I don't think that would have helped that wind. It could took all the, like, that one was a doozy, huh?
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of
I
damage?
distributed it in our house.
Some?
I mean, blue and blue, but not hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like just about the north side of Millersburg, got to the county past horses there, that was about it. So, I had a gentleman contact me yesterday about noxious weeds, or
Mhm.
thistles, and he wants to, he'd like to have weed commissioner spray it.
Okay. I just need an address.
I'll give you his name and you can contact him. I'll text it to you right now.
I'll try to run Dylan down after the meeting, talk to him about the doors over there. Talk to him about the
Did anybody
doors.
get a hold of my phones at your office?
They're gonna come out and receive it.
Nobody's called me.
Today.
We talked about it last week and we wondered.
Dylan did come in yesterday and say something about like what the phones would cost for the county, so I don't know if somebody.
You got lucky the last time.
Fair enough.
The day we were in was the day that stuff showed up that you got.
Well, it completely matches everything else, like even our desks, and it's nice. So that's
Anything else for Nick?
No?
what we're working on here. We did start mowing some road ditches.
Yeah. I was gonna,
Well,
looks like the knives need to be sharpened on the one that was leaving us a heck of a streak. Like crap. One behind the Ford tractor. It was a heck of a,
Then next week sometime, we're gonna go learn how to turn the water on and off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be great. I think they started working. Did they start that yesterday, putting a road in back
Oh,
there?
it's all done,
It's all done?
I think.
Okay, because,
I don't know if they can put a road around it or just a path straight back. There's a
no,
path-
they're gonna do a little road around it,
Okay, it's just straight back.
but we put down rock and everything on there? Yeah.
There's nothing to go around, you know, I can't see him backing up all the way.
No,
So that water doesn't go to the building anymore, then, does it? It's just gonna be for that?
Just that one hydrant.
yeah, so whenever you wanna do a little learning lesson,
He's got the hose and it's all set up now. He's got the
How big a hose?
2-inch.
yeah, something like 70 or 80 gallons a minute, right?
So a lot of pressure then.
Yeah, it should be good.
What does the pressure tank have for it?
Just the well.
Hmm.
Just a pump on it. 5 horse motor.
Is that all in the ground then?
We got a curb stop there that's, the one time you gotta turn it open to drain the water out and thanks, and that was a good idea to put that on the calendar. So we don't forget.
I have to do that a lot. We have like 100 different things to remember a year, keeping on certain dates, so that's a lot of calendar reminders.
I see Mrs. Miller Reeks is gonna be down at Landmark on the 3rd.
Yeah, I thought about I should go down there and thank her.
I thought maybe,
You get invited to that, right?
Monday?
yeah, Monday, so,
Is that Monday, Thursday? At
Yep.
11 o'clock.
yeah,
Did that come on the email?
yeah, that came me.
Where's it from?
Tome Philkova.
I almost deleted that when I needed, because I had no idea what that was.
I'll forward it to you.
Well, if you guys go, let me know.
Oh, I got it right here.
You got it, John?
Yeah. It didn't have no head on it. It just had the name. I was like,
I forwarded it to you.
I didn't even open it because I was like you.
Yeah, what is that?
If you go, let me know. I love it when John wants
11
me
a.m.
lunch.
on the 3rd. I'm gonna have to mow some more yards.
See, that's what's really good about being elected. He can buy you lunch, you can't buy him lunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It actually works
And
like
that's the
that?
same with you then, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
Two lunches.
people can't buy me lunch.
Is that why you always buy Dylan's lunch when you go on road trips?
I have bought him lunch a couple of
On your
times.
field trips?
Around road trips.
well, you can have, John could buy, they could both buy you lunch and I'll eat.
Well, shoot me an email or a text message if you guys go down.
I probably will try to do that.
It's not very far from you.
I don't like music.
Pretty close.
What day is that? Unless I'm
Monday.
golfing.
I love
All right. You guys have a good weekend, I guess.
Nick, Scott Hamlin, and I just wanted to thank you for your communication with me periodically as a citizen and of the community, notifying me about issues within and how your department responds to try to keep our roads and facilities updated and maintained. Also, I enjoy hearing about this magnetic collector issue. The old school of living in this area was, if you want a flat tire, wait till they plow the road and move everything back to the middle and stuff. I think that's a great idea. And one last question, how long would we in today's world anticipate the asphalt on B66, the life of it, before, the next go around?
Sure. So the asphalt depreciation life that the DOT goes by is probably around 20 years, 20 to 25. We do it a little bit thicker. We go 5.5 inches. So I'm hoping, it's closer to that 25. And then with asphalt, What we will do is we'll mill up the top couple inches, put it back down, and then put on a couple more inches. And that'll be a lot cheaper. It's kind of like a perpetual life sort of thing. So instead of concrete where we tear it all up and have to, and redo it, we'll mill off the top three, put some juice in it, lay down another couple, probably is the plan, so.
Is this the last layer they're doing now?
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you, Nick. This is an educational opportunity for me on infrastructure going forward.
Speaking of those magnets, Nick took us around when we first got elected. We toured some of the shops and he showed us those magnets. It's amazing how much stuff that those pick up.
Oh, I've had sidewalls ruined by bolts where the homemade hitch pin fell out on the road. You hit it just right. And I solved my issues by going to 10-ply tires, but it's still, there's a lot of stuff out there. And like I say, I think that's an excellent attempt to manage.
It was a pretty cheap investment.
Right, and I'm talking to one guy this morning, he said just from what he's picked up this year, he's keeping it like in a big 55, gallon trash can or what, he says he can't lift it. That's how much he's picked up from this year.
In less than 6 months.
So, I mean, there's gotta be just thousands and thousands, in there, right?
Yeah, I don't know where all the roofing nails come from.
The tire companies.
Yeah,
They go out and throw them out.
we used to blame Larry Bird for that.
It's like taking a trip to the landfill, right?
All right, you guys enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, you too.
We used to go see the tank companies.
Yeah, I went to Charles Buddy's dump trailer one time. We taking it to landfill? I go, well, yeah, where am I gonna take it? I don't like, you taking my trailer to landfill. 2 weeks later, he takes it to landfill.
Now, there's a fear factor there going to the landfill.
Used to say everything was about its own way.
All right, you wanna let these guys go early then?
You can't get it. You got any more people coming?
No.
Come on up.
All right. Is it all right if I sit down?
You bet.
I hate to tower. Well, good morning, my name is Joel McNulty. I'm the director of what's now the 6th District Department of Corrections. Prior to that was the 6th Judicial District Department of Correctional Services. And I have Dale Slaymaker with me. Dale's a probation parole officer here. You guys probably all know him, but he's our go-to in Iowa County.
Not personal.
Yeah. He's here to answer any hard questions you have for me today. But I really appreciate the work Dale does here. And I know he's got really good, close relationships with, the county partners that we have here. So I appreciate the invitation from John to come visit with you. Just a brief history lesson. I know you're all keenly aware of the alignment that took effect on July 1st. Prior to that, as John mentioned earlier, we had a board of directors that was a governing decision-making body, hired and fired the director, evaluated the director, approved budgets, a multitude of different things. In fact, I think probably the last official decision that board made was hiring me and bringing me on as the new director June 30th of last year. So I've been at this for about 10 months now. But as John was saying earlier, the alignment then really got rid of those boards of directors as a governing decision-making body and then created new advisory boards. And the advisory boards by code are supposed to be made up still of one representative from each county board of supervisors, 2 citizen participants that I delegate, and then 2 that the court delegates. So we still have a 10-person advisory board. That group got together, was it February, John? I think it was kind of that was kind of their initial, meeting to set themselves up as an advisory board and bylaws. And so part of that was just deciding how they wanted to function moving forward. And I think that group had decided to meet once annually, I think in October. So we'll be doing that coming up this fall. But the other thing we talked about was a willingness to come out to each county. I'll come every month if you want me to. You won't want me to, trust me. But at least once a year, if you were interested, that I would be more than happy to come out to the county. And so this is the third county I've been to. I've been to Tama and Jones, and now today in Iowa County. And I've been in corrections for about 30 years, not quite 30, 28 or 29, something like that. I spent the first 28 in the second district as the assistant director over there, which is Marshalltown, Fort Dodge, Ames, Mason City, that neck of the woods. So was honored to come here to the 6th, and the timing was interesting with the alignment and all the things that we're trying to work through with that. But what I've been doing with these meetings is just trying to find some data that's specific to the county. And so I don't have a ton of data. I like data, but I also know data has limitations in terms of usually it's only as good as what is put into it. So I'll run through these with you. I did have Dale look at them, just make sure it didn't look like anything was terribly out of whack. But these numbers are all for Iowa County as of March of 2024. So there are 154 people in Iowa County total on supervision as of March of 2024. 2 of those folks were on parole. 88 were on probation, so that's about 91% of them. 2 special sentence sex offenses, and then 5 work release, and that covered the totality of the number of folks on supervision, except for self-supervised probation, which I don't think I included in those numbers, and that's another 56 folks. So we break down the people that we work with by risk level. Like anything else, not everybody's created equally in terms of their history and what they do and don't do and those types of things. So we tend to look at the folks we work with as either low risk, low moderate risk, moderate high risk, or high risk. And so we have 18 low risk folks, 10 low moderate risk folks, 6 moderate high, and then 7 high. And then we also have a self-supervised program that we don't assign a risk level to. Those typically come via court order, usually through a plea agreement or something. And it's really a paper supervision. And in many instances, we don't even see those folks yet.
When you say risk of reoffending?
Yeah. And we look heavily at violence and victimization specifically. But also, yes, the short answer is yes, looking at the propensity to commit another crime. And so the higher risk, the more likely to commit another crime. And again, that's predicated on a lot of issues, what their history is, how old they are, those kinds of things. We have an actual assessment that we do to determine those levels. So, but like I said, the self-supervised, we don't do that assessment. It's just those are ordered to us by the court, and it's really a paper supervision. So have some information here just in terms of the kinds of offenses that people are on supervision for, and these numbers would represent the most serious violation in terms of the offense level. So if you're on supervision for a D felony and an aggravated misdemeanor, these charges what the numbers I'm going to share with you would represent the felony level crime, if that makes sense. So 36% of the cases that we work with here are drug offenses, drug-related offenses, or that's where the most serious offense is. 18% property, 35% public order. Public order is a fairly big category in terms of, that can be interference with official acts, criminal mischief. I think we put OWIs in there as well. So it's a fairly broad category. And then 11% are for violent offenses. So In FY '23, we had 102 new admissions to Iowa County. And then for the closures or during, again, FY '23, we had 78 successful closures, which is 76%, 24 unsuccessful closures, which is 24%, and then 1%, which was one administrative closure, which could be a death, as an example. I don't know if that was exactly the case here. So again, I just provide those to try to give you a snapshot of, you know, kind of what we see and where the trends are right now. So.
Could you, just repeat those first numbers Ben walked in just a moment?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Interesting.
154 total people on supervision. Two of those folks are on parole. 88 are on probation. 2 are special sentence sex offense. And I should mention, Dale doesn't cover the sex offender cases here. One of our POs out of Tama County actually covers. That's a more specialized population of people. So, and then 5 work release. So those folks physically at the time these numbers were ran were probably sitting in one of our facilities in Cedar Rapids, but had an offense and a prior residence out of Iowa County. So, and then again, adding on those self-supervised cases that I talked about that really can be any risk level. We just don't know because it doesn't matter. The court says they're self-supervised. That's what we're required to do with them. So
This is the first time I remember you coming in here.
yeah, I've heard from other folks it probably is actually.
So if you'd be willing to, it really would be nice.
I'd be more than happy to, absolutely. And I'll leave that to John to decide, you know, when you want me to do that.
That doesn't matter to me, yearly, I've heard those. So those numbers sound like a lot to me, but how do we compare, since you said you're data driven?
Yeah.
Are we like in the
Yeah.
average, we're not high or low compared to?
I don't think anything jumps out at me about Iowa County. I mean, I get it. I'm a Tama County resident myself. And so when you're in counties with smaller populations, it seems like a lot to you because you live there, but.
Yeah, I live here and I never see this.
Exactly.
And I don't deal with it daily, so.
Exactly. So I don't think I was looking yesterday when I was putting these numbers together at Tama and Jones County, for example. So, you know, you're gonna see some differences with, you know, drug offenses, for example. Like there might be more drug offenses in Iowa County than there are in Jones. But in totality, I don't, there's nothing in these numbers that say, wow, what in the heck is going on in Iowa County?
Like a red flag.
No, not law enforcement might beg to differ, and I totally get that, but we're only looking at, you know, the people that we're dealing with on supervision. So, but yeah, I'm more than happy to come, John, or, you know, can let me know when and all.
Well, I'm thinking, you know, we meet in October and we'll probably do that every year. That's where it's basically gonna be an update now because it's not a governing board. So would like the last Friday in May work?
Yeah, ordinarily, yeah. I mean, just as we did
Just
this
double
one.
check if it's
Just
gotta
making
be-
sure I wasn't in Canada or something. This should be good.
But I think that's a good time frame from October and.
Yeah.
and then-
Yeah. No, I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to
So,
do that.
right, just any Friday in May.
Yeah, and I think the numbers that John's gonna hear at that advisory board meeting are gonna be more broad in terms of the whole district. So it's really nice to be able to come out to the individual county and provide the data. The other thing I just wanted to touch base on, again, I know you guys know the effects of the alignment in a lot of other ways besides just the Department of Corrections. And my philosophy from the get-go has been, regardless of how we're structured, and I know money talks, that I'm not a Pollyanna, but in the end, regardless of whatever the structure is, where things happen is here. It happens with you guys, it happens with the other county departments, it happens with Dale. And so I just, for whatever it's worth, I think it's really important to continue, regardless of the structure, to try to make sure that we're maintaining these relationships, because they're typically mutually beneficial. And so, you know, that's why I think it's a great thing that you guys want me to come. I'm happy to do that. And, so, yeah.
I'm just glad that district stayed the same, so.
Yeah,
We're still-
yeah, me too. Me too.
So I'm not sure if the mental health one, where that's all gonna go, so.
Yeah, I think the district's thing would be pretty complicated just because of the judicial aspects of it and how it's set up. But I'm aware of we're kind of paying attention to the changes coming with that too, because of some of the funding streams and work that we do too, so. Anything else? Okay, thanks, I appreciate you having me.
Thanks for coming up.
Yeah, if there's any problems at all, call Dale. Don't ever hesitate to reach out. If you're interested, I'm happy to email those numbers if you desire to have them. I know I
That'd be
just
nice.
read through them, so can I just email them to you, John? Distribute them? Okay. All right,
Thank you.
thanks.
See you in October.
Yeah, sounds good, thank you. Yeah.
See you, Dale.
We'll see you. Thank you very much.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you for coming, John.
We're gonna go on recess and. If she shows up.
All right, and so I met Chris
John, didn't
and
Kevin.
Kevin. Okay,
And Alan and Abby are not here today.
okay. So, is it okay to just do this sort of conversationally?
You bet.
How do you want to
What do
present?
you want to do?
Okay. Well, I guess first thing I'd like to know what you see as the strengths of Iowa County. Like, why is it a good place to live and work?
Small towns, homey atmosphere.
Family atmosphere, yeah.
I was just talking, I did the address for Memorial Day at Victor, and it's amazing how the whole community comes out and supports actual organizations like American Legion and VFW, and just, FFA, county fair, I think rural communities are very supportive of what events they have going on in their counties.
Good schools, our county, we have some of those better schools around.
I think we have a very active community development
Yeah. That's what they
program in
do.
the county.
Do you have anything you wanted to add? Okay. What do you see as the top needs of Iowa County?
Daycares. For children wise, we need housing.
It seems like a lot of employers have trouble finding qualified people to work for them, especially, it seems like in the food business. A lot of people I know that at Home Food just said their turnover and their help.
And like, ideally, if you could have Iowa County look like you would want it in the next, like, 10 years, or like, what would be different?
I think every community having a thriving main street or town square would be amazing. Having every building built.
No empty storefronts.
Have something happen out at the interstate, or was. So you'd like to see that redeveloped in 10 years.
Yeah, it's a big change from the way it used to be. And, sorry. What I was going to ask. I have one letter. And do you see, substance? Sorry. My mouth is really dry. Do you see substance misuse as a problem in Iowa County?
I think it's probably a problem everywhere.
And in what, like what kind of substance issues?
Well, on the news a lot, you're hearing about fentanyl overdoses. I don't know if we've really had any in Iowa County, but if it's happening in Cedar Rapids and Iowa City, eventually it'll, move out into the rural areas.
I know the schools are concerned about the use of marijuana. That's one of their big concerns. How much it's upticked in the last 5 years.
Um, And, have you guys, read the Community Needs Assessment and Health Improvement Plan that, Lori Sheeler and probably other people, but I know that, the county, Department of Health has worked on it a lot.
I've seen it.
I've never read through it though.
Well, one of the things they mentioned is one of the things that I was gonna mention anyway, that, for example, in Iowa County, almost 25% of adults report excessive drinking in the previous 30 days. That's, right around what the state is, like 0.2% or something, or less, higher than what the state average is. And that almost 19% of adults 18 plus have reported having engaged in binge drinking in the last month. And there's also a graph showing, sorry, where it is, that there are, alcohol-related deaths, drunk driving incidents in the county also. And it is sort of a natural occurrence that, problems caused by alcohol consumption tend to increase as the consumption of alcohol increases. That's sort of, they've done a lot of studies. And I didn't even introduce myself. I'm sorry. I just started. I knew you guys knew I was coming, so I just started. But I'm Becky Conley. I'm a prevention specialist at Community and Family Resources. Now, the majority of Community and Family Resources does treatment, but I'm in the prevention department, which is sort of a small part. And so we work on programs to try and prevent misuse of substances and the problems that go along with that. So for example, one of the things that we do is go to schools and do a 15-week curriculum called life skills training. And of course, that's completely optional. And Iowa Valley and English Valleys both do it. I haven't had much luck getting a hold of HLV yet. And Williamsburg feels like they don't have room in the curriculum for it. Because they have everything very strict, like process for approving and the curriculum, that kind of thing. The other thing that we work on is, in this case, I'm looking into the possibility of policies that could decrease alcohol consumption. And it is an issue in Iowa County, even though consumption in Iowa County isn't worse than it is at the state level, that's bad because except Iowa is second in the nation for excessive drinking with, and the number of people that report either drinking, I think it's more than 8 drinks a week for women, 15 drinks a week for men is considered heavy drinking. Drinking 4 for women, 5 for men, drinks in like a 2-hour period is considered binge drinking. And so with, Iowa tends to have this culture of drinking a lot. And it's natural that then the issues that often accompany drinking alcohol would go along with it. And we want to protect people. It's not a matter of not drinking, it's a matter of like drinking in a way that's less risky. And so even though, Iowa County is at the state rate in both excessive drinking and binge drinking, but it is higher than most surrounding counties. So
What, higher than Johnson County?
I was trying to compare, I don't remember, I think maybe, I don't remember specifically Johnson County, because I was trying to compare it more with like some more similar.
Like size? Like size counties?
Yeah, just, the like Poweshiek, Benton, Keokuk, the counties that are more similar to Iowa County. We all know that Johnson County is a beast of its own. And so the percentage of driving deaths in Iowa County that are alcohol related does tend to be lower than the state average, but it is also higher than neighboring counties like Keokuk, Poweshiek, and Benton. So.
Does it have to do with the fact that interstate goes through Iowa County
But it goes through Poweshiek also.
and not Benton or Keokuk?
That's true. That's true. So I haven't looked to see where those happen. And that's only looking at deaths from drunk driving. It's not looking at incidents. I didn't bring the data with me about like how many arrests were made and that kind of thing. But one of the most effective and like compared to other prevention strategies that we have, one of the most effective strategies to reduce alcohol consumption is raising prices. They have done studies all over the world, like 200 studies or, in that range. They've done many, many studies from all over the world, and uniformly, when the price of alcohol goes up, consumption goes down. When the price goes down, consumption goes up. And sort of, they've looked, and on average, raising the price by 1% decreases consumption by 0.5%, which means that it's lowering, but retailers really are making the same amount of money because it's the price has increased more than the amount that the consumption goes down. Is like balanced out by the increased price.
So we have nothing to do with pricing alcohol, you understand that?
But would you support it, in theory? I mean.
We have no power over retailers. We have no policy over pricing.
And what I was looking for was.
Wouldn't this be a state mandate instead of a county?
There are probably people working on that, but there are more local things that can happen. So for example, there can be regulations just saying that limiting the amount of promotional pricing. So rather than, saying it has to cost a certain amount, by saying that you can, like I know downtown Iowa City has a rule that you can't have 2-for-1s. And so doing something like that in Iowa County, theoretically, whether it's at the county level, at like a municipal level, or an agreement by the retailers,
To make any kind of dent to do this, it'd have to be at the municipal level, because the amount of alcohol that's served outside of the city limits is pretty minimal.
Yeah, we just have Amoco
A couple of gas stations.
and,
yeah.
I mean,
Well, I mean, but having like some kind of limit like that, I do know, like, for example, that, when I was doing, last fall, when I was doing, life skills training at English Valleys, I stopped at the Casey's, which was, on the edge of town. And and they had like a big table, probably not quite as big as this table, but it was like a card table size, full of bottles of alcohol and alcoholic beverages, like single size, serve size also, that were buy one, get one free. And that, I mean, heck, even I'm tempted by, getting something free, going and trying to save a buck. So that's basically like what we are looking into as a potential possibility. And it would be very helpful to have the support of the supervisors for that kind of thing. And like I said, limiting the promotional pricing is a lot easier sometimes than just saying that there's a minimum price per unit or whatever. But so what do you think about that type of policy?
like I said, it wouldn't affect only a couple businesses for us. I think if it started at the municipal level, like Marengo, North St. Louis, Williamsburg, then maybe we could probably make something more. But we'd have to start with them first to see what they would do. We wouldn't want to single out them few businesses that we would have control over, and not put them in a corner.
And I'm trying to talk to, the city councils and that type of thing too. So, so you think it'd be more effective starting at the municipal level,
Yeah.
so that nobody is being,
Yeah, singled out.
I'd be willing to support education and binge drinking, but I'm not gonna support raising prices. I'm sorry, I'm too conservative. And money's too hard to come by.
I think prices on everything's already raised.
Yeah.
I mean, and even alcohol has prices have raised too, I think.
Oh, yeah, I know it is.
But I don't think I would support like an ordinance telling the towns what to do.
Yeah, we can't tell
That's
towns
what I'm
what
to do.
saying, so.
Yeah.
right? And like I said, I'm just trying to get feelings on reactions, and even though you can't tell the towns what to do, by even like a declaration or something that's just symbolic would show that there is, that there's support for it, that excessive drinking isn't, acceptable in Iowa County. It's sort of it's creating a different social norm, because obviously the social norms in Iowa, and in Iowa County, really encourage, drinking. Any other feelings, discussions, like just how you feel about the substance misuse and what you know about it, anything like that?
Not really, not right now.
Do you have anything?
Well, I think, like we said before, education is a great thing, getting out the effects of substance abuse and what it does to families and the community. They've always said education is the key part. But it also takes parenting as well, and instead of just educating the kids, educating the parents as well.
And that's always a good thing. It's just a matter of, how do you do that, How do you get enough people to make a difference, to do that? Whereas this is something that affects everybody, whether or not they drink.
Public notification, newspapers, flyers, programs.
Social media.
Yeah, social media would be huge. Maybe quite heavy into that.
Yeah, I'm the last one to do it.
And I know we do have a social media campaign, for example, on problem gambling. And so that is something that we use. But like I said, the studies from around the world, obviously a lot of them are probably from the US, but shows that this is something that gives more bang for the buck, because it affects everybody, and it is more cost effective to do. Do you guys have any questions for me?
No. Or I don't. Chris?
No, I'm good.
Appreciate you coming in.
All right, well, I thank you guys for having me and let me talk to you today. And I do have just some information. I think Chris, you already got this.
Yeah.
And I'll leave some extras that have data. So one of the other things that you mentioned is that that's on there is the fact that drunk driving has gone down, has been trending downward across the nation, but it's been trending upward in Iowa. So that's something that we need to work on also.
You have Alan?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Well, thank you guys so much.
thank you.
Thank you.
Did you want?
Have a great weekend. Thank you, you too.
Okay, so this is not deal. So is there anything else for this meeting?
No.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Right.
Opposed, say nay. Motion adjourned. Okay, now here's the clerk. Call the meeting to order. Is there,
I'll make a motion to
we approve the agenda?
approve the agenda.
I'll
Second.
second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Right.
Opposed, say nay. Motion approved. Iowa County Local Disaster Declaration.
Make a motion to approve the declaration and have the chairman sign it.
I'll second it.
You know, you've all read it, whatever. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Made a motion to adjourn.
Motion passed.
I'll second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Second meeting adjourned. How's that?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And I just sent the same link, the first meeting.